Around. Put your hands together for Vlad! Hello, Toronto! Hey! Beautiful, beautiful people! Yes or yes?
Yes!
Exactly.
Lock him up.
Wow. I haven't been here for 3 weeks. I just realized that. I was in the Vancouver area the 2 weekends, and then the last weekend, obviously, Ottawa. Give it up for Ottawa! I think at least half of the people I'm seeing right now, I actually saw last week in Ottawa. That's amazing, guys. I really want to thank you for your, participation and commitment to this movement and our freedom, and that's really essential. Freedom is essential. Yes or yes?
Yes.
All right. I don't know if you heard the news, but the news says that COVID is over. Did you hear it? I know, COVID is over. Like, guys, we have to start talking that way. Like, honestly, I'm not joking. I know, like, everyone, what do you mean? Hashtag COVID is over. Can we do that? Like, yes or yes? Okay, I know it's going to take a little bit of time, like, getting into that, but we have to. Language is everything. You have to understand. You create your world with your word. I'm going to repeat. Your world is created with your word. So we have to say that. Because we are the one that can start that spark and it can go viral. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anything. COVID is over. Let's do it everyone together because we need to get it inside of the visceral level. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. COVID is over. COVID is over. COVID is over. Amazing.
COVID is a hoax.
Well, that's a whole other story, but yes. So, 3 things, if you haven't been paying attention to the news. CDC, first of all, announced last week, I guess, at this point, that asymptomatic people shouldn't be tested because they don't really transmit the disease.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what we've been saying for the last 4 months? Yes or yes? Yes! Second thing they said, that the quarantine for 2 weeks for people that came for travel is no longer necessary. That was last week too, guys. I don't know if you were on a weekend. I gotta talk like this weekend here. So the 14-day quarantine is no longer required in the States from international between state travel. And the last thing I'm sure everyone heard is about this number 6%. Yes or yes? And again, even that 6% is very questionable, as we know, right? They haven't really isolated the virus. People send me right now, I can't remember from where, but the report that the tests for this virus actually were submitted not even last year, the year before that. Like the shipments from China to test for this virus, that's the new virus that came from 2018. Like it's ridiculous. Like it's like we're just making fun of this at this point in terms of how ignorant they think people are. Now we had this very important conversation yesterday at Dr. Tenpenny. Friday, every Friday we have a Zoom for 6 weeks now, and we talked about this very specific important point. We've been for the last 6 months under this heavy brainwash propaganda. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Now we've been awake, I've been coming here for the last 4 months, 20 weeks, again, amazing commitment, guys, to all of you. Whoever joined recently, have been here from the day one, again, give it up for yourself. Now, most people, unfortunately, have been subjected to that fear propaganda. So what we need to understand now, when we're interacting with those people, at the very first interaction, if you present them with facts, like the 3 things that I just said, that actually came from CDC that everyone's been following, right? They're still gonna dismiss it. Because at this point, any information that actually goes against the narrative that they believe, they're not gonna be able to accept it. For 2 things. One is, it's part of whatever's happening right now, it's part of the belief system for that person. And not even that, it's part of their identity. This is really important to understand. When you're talking to those people, it's no longer about presenting these astonishing facts that actually, even from their own sources they used for the last 4 months, discredit the whole narrative. It's no longer about that, because they're still gonna dismiss it. Because anything goes against the narrative, just right away. It's like, think about in a shell. They're like literally in a shell, like an eggshell, right? So for you to present any type of facts, before that you have to break the shell a little bit, to allow a little bit of the light coming in. And the way you can do that is actually go more on an emotional level with those people. So I'll give you 2 examples. When you're talking to those people, which we still have to, do we understand that we still need to talk to people? Yes or yes? if we have any chance of changing the tide, changing the wave of what's happening right now, we still have to continue doing the work. Being here is tremendously important for a few reasons. One of them, to see each other, to hug, to build the positivity, to be with other people, right? No masks inside. No masks here. I love it. That's a different mask. But besides coming here, it's important to do the activist work every single day. Again, we have our usual flyers. We brought a couple of boxes there, guys. Pick up as many as you want. I have a couple of boxes at home, not too far. You can get them later. But doing those flyers, giving out to people, talking to people is very, very important because that's how we're going to change the tide. Now, but what I'm getting to is breaking the shell. You can do with a couple of examples, I'll tell you right now. One is when you're talking to these people, you need to ask them, they tell you what, wear your mask because, you know, you got to save the lives and all this stuff. Ask them this question: have you heard about people dying because of these measures? People actually been dying all this time because of the measures of the government. And you can, if you know stories, you can share personal stories, or you can, unfortunately, if you have some, or you can share the stories that you're going to hear from here, that people are committing suicides because of these measures, people are dying because they missed their surgeries and other procedures in the hospitals. This is actually happening. So get with people at the emotional level more than anything. Ask me that question, that the measures actually causing death. We call it collateral deaths. In other words, the deaths that actually came because of these measures. And at this point, 100%, they're surpassing the deaths from actual COVID. This is what's happening right now. And people need to know that. People don't know it because people just listen to, you know, we have 100 new cases, we have 140 cases. Most of those cases don't even need the hospital things, as we know, hospitalization. The other example I can make for you at emotional level that you can get with somebody, I had this interaction. If people saw the Shoppers Drug Mart video where I was denied service and canceled and whatever, like I'm pulling up with a lawyer, but as I was walking out there, I was talking to the lady, she was wearing the mask, and she asked me, you know, in a nice way, that's why I engaged in conversation, what's so wrong about masks? Like, why can't you just wear the mask? And I had to tell her, think about people that experienced trauma in their life before. If someone actually was a victim of rape or anything like that, anything that you put on their face, you're gonna have extreme reaction. And immediately when I said that, I saw the lady eyes changed. Like you can see there was a little bit of a crack in that shell. And at that point, she was open to receive more facts and information. So there's a couple of things I want to give you in terms of, you know, training and ideas and personal development, how you can still make an impact even with those hard shell people right now. You got to get to them at the emotional level first. Now, a couple of things from the Ottawa speech that I want to share with you guys. And again, so good to see everyone here in Ottawa last Saturday. One thing, this has happened before, and you heard me talking about this here before about perspective, right? This is not the first time in the history that evil is trying to take over, right? It's happened before in Second World War and other situations, right? So we know the history, we have to study the history, we have to teach our children the history, and we have to make sure that they know the perspective, that this happened before, and people will be fighting against what's going on right now. And the most important thing that I want to leave you with is why we're going to win this battle. We're going to win this battle. Yes or yes?
Yeah!
The reason why we're going to win this battle is because what we're fighting for is eternal. It's infinite. It's our way of life. It's humanity. It's love. Hugs of a mask represents humanity because HU, humanity, right there. Hugs is something that we do innate, like children hug each other because that's what they know what to do at a visceral level. So why we're going to win this battle is because we have nothing else to lose except our way of life and freedom of our children that are going to live in a world that's going to be free of oppression and fear and tyranny. Yes or yes?
Yeah!
We're going to have a panel of the children coming up. This is always my highlight. Stay tuned for that. Yep. And more than anything, I just want to say again, thank you for everybody for coming. Do your work. Make sure you do the work outside of this rallies that we have happening all across the world. You have to talk to people every single day. Again, I'm going to empower you. If all you do is you just talk to one person every day and you do it for 5 days a week, that's 5 new people that you interacted and possibly plant a seed of doubt. And if we just have 20 people doing that, now you have 100 100 people that are going to be changing the wave and the tide and not complying with these BS regulations that actually have no scientific basis and actually causing real harm to us and our children at this point. Okay guys, if anything, we have a table there. Come grab your buttons, we have t-shirts, we have your flyers. Love you all, stay healthy everybody.